Never save money. That advice came from my grandfather, and this is why I share it. In a small farming village lived an old man everyone called lazy. He didn't work. He spent his days sitting under the shade of a large tree on an old chair, staring into the distance and talking about plans he never started. "One day I'll open a shop," he said. "One day I'll buy land and cows. One day I'll make money without getting tired." That day never came. People stopped laughing at him. They looked at him with pity instead. His wife would sigh and say, "Life doesn't live on dreams. Life lives on work." He would shrug and reply, "Someday I'll find a way." Years passed. Life became harder. One night, his grandson, barefoot and thin, asked softly, "Grandpa, is there any bread?" The grandmother opened the cupboard. It was empty. The old man stared at the floor. His throat tightened. Dreams couldn't be eaten. Ideas couldn't fill an empty stomach. That night, he didn't sleep. The next morning, with shame in his heart, he went to work in the fields as a day laborer. The work was cruel. The sun burned his skin. His back bent lower every day. His hands cracked and ached. Sweat ran into his eyes. In the middle of the field, he whispered, "This feels like a chain." At night, he came home exhausted and silent. Dinner was beans and 2 tortillas. Never more. The boy hugged him and asked, "What did they give you today, Grandpa?" He looked at his pay and said quietly, "It's little, but it's something." But the money never stayed. Illness took it. Food took it. Funerals took it. A few coins were all that remained. Week after week, the pay came and went. The roof still leaked. Hunger stayed. One afternoon at the village store, he overheard men talking. "The secret is saving," one said. "If you save, you're safe." Those words stuck in his mind. That night, he found a large glass jar and hid it under the bed. Every week, after buying only the bare essentials, he dropped coins inside. The sound made him smile. It felt like hope. One day, the grandson found the jar. "What's this, Grandpa?" "Our tomorrow," the old man said proudly. But saving was hard. He didn't buy new shoes, even when the old ones fell apart. Food grew scarcer. Plates were never full. One day, the grandmother finally said, "What good is saving if we're always hungry?" He didn't look up. "Someday you'll understand." Months passed. The jar filled. To the old man, it looked like safety. One morning, he went to the market and poured the money onto the table. "I want 3 sacks of corn." The seller counted, then shook his head. Prices went up. "This buys 1 sack and half." The old man froze. "Money loses value," the seller said simply. On the walk home, the jar felt heavier than ever. That night, he poured the coins onto the table and counted them again and again. It never grew. The boy asked quietly, "So, what's the use of saving, Grandpa?" The old man had no answer. Days grew darker. His strength faded. Sometimes he felt there was no way forward. One morning, sitting on the porch, he watched neighbors pass by. One carried eggs, another carried bottles of milk. They walked calmly. They didn't look afraid. Then he remembered something the boy had once said. "What if we buy chickens?" This time, he listened. He took the last of the money and bought a few thin chickens. When he released them into the yard, the boy laughed and ran after them. "Now we have an egg factory," the boy shouted. At first, they found 1 or 2 eggs a day. They ate some, they sold some. With that money, they bought another chicken. The old man wrote everything in a small notebook. Every egg mattered. Soon the yard was full of noise. Neighbors came to buy eggs. For the first time, work felt good. One afternoon, the old man held an egg and said to the boy, "This is worth more than a jar of money. It feeds us. It grows. It doesn't lose value." The boy hugged him. "So you're not lazy anymore?" The old man smiled, eyes wet. "No, my child. I finally learned." The jar stayed forgotten under the bed. And when people talked about saving money, the old man would point to his chickens and say, "Saving money is like holding water in your hands. It always slips away. Make it work, even if you start small." And that's how the man once called lazy learned the greatest truth of his life. Never save money. Make it grow.